The Renters' Rights Bill is going to make things worse for the majority of tenants, and here's exactly why. Now, you might be thinking, boo-hoo, landlords quitting, who cares? But let me stop you right there, because if your image of a landlord is someone living in a giant mansion with multiple cars on the driveway, a swimming pool in the back, and a pony for little Beatrice to play on, you are way off. Because in fact, over half of the UK landlords own just one property, and most of them are just shock regular people, teachers, nurses, retirees who bought a property to help fund their pension. Now, the last 15 years have been brutal on landlords. Extra licensing requirements, Article 4 restrictions, Section 24 tax changes, ever-increasing compliance costs, never-ending legislation like the Deregulation Act, Minimum Energy Efficiency Standards, Tenant Fees Act, and believe me, the list goes on. And now mortgage rates that are 3 times higher than 5 years ago. Now, I'm not saying all of this is bad. Some of the changes to improve standards like the smoke and carbon monoxide regulations, for example, have been positive, but the cost of compliance with all this new legislation keeps rising and landlords are being squeezed out. Now, it's no secret that the government are openly trying to replace small landlords with large institutional investors. Look into the build-to-rent schemes being brought forward by the likes of Lloyds Bank, for example. But before you celebrate that, think about what that actually means for renters. It means no more local landlord who lives close by and knows you by name. No, it means a faceless corporate landlord often hundreds of miles away managing you by a spreadsheet. Need an extra week to pay the rent? Tough luck. That company has strict rental policies to adhere to, shareholders to please, and quarterly targets to hit. If you want maintenance done fast, maintenance requests go through call centres and repairs scheduled based on contractor availability, not urgency. If you're hoping for flexibility at rent renewal time, good luck negotiating with a faceless asset manager whose bonus depends on driving rents higher. Now, the Renters' Rights Bill is the last straw for many landlords because it restricts what they can do with their own property. It kills off flexibility and removes any remaining faith many have in the system. And here's the real kicker. Yes, some landlords selling will free up homes for first-time buyers, which I agree is a good thing, but what about HMOs? If a landlord sells a 6-bedroom HMO, it might house 6 working professionals or students. When that gets converted back into a single-family home, that's 5 fewer bed spaces in the market. So yes, fewer landlords means fewer rental options, and in a housing crisis, that's bad news for tenants. Now let's talk about something I just can't get my head around. The bill proposes the ban on advance rent payments. Yes, you heard that right, and I cannot begin to explain how crazy this is. Advance rent payments are the only way many tenants can secure a property. Think about international students with no UK rental or credit history, UK students paying in line with loan dates, tenants with poor credit, and freelancers or people between jobs who have savings but no steady income. Removing this option doesn't protect tenants, it locks them out of the market. If a landlord can't take 6 months up front from someone who fails a credit check, they just simply won't rent to them. And that means thousands of people who desperately need accommodation will be shut out of the market. This isn't protection, it's punishment disguised as policy. Now let's talk about Airbnb, because with all these new rules and regulations, red tape, and massive penalties for landlords and agents who get it wrong, many are saying, you know what, I'll get rid of my tenants and just stick it on Airbnb. And can you blame them? Fewer rules, higher income, no long eviction process if someone doesn't pay the rent. In many cases, a weekend guest is easier than a 12-month tenant, and a weekend guest has far fewer legal rights than a tenant. And when that happens, guess what? That's one less long-term rental in the market. So while the Renters' Rights Bill might sound good on paper for tenants, the real-world results are going to be fewer rental homes available, tougher screening by landlords, higher rents, and a shrinking supply of affordable housing. And that hurts tenants more than anyone else. So what do you think? Is the Renters' Rights Bill the fix we need, or just another disaster in the making? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you found this video helpful, hit like and subscribe. I'm David from Central Properties, and I'll see you in the next video.